What's good, everybody? Welcome to Bowler's Paradise. My name is Ben. I'm a USBC Silver Certified Coach, and today we are taking a look at the all-new Violent Collision from DV8. Before we get going, be sure you're subscribed. It's free, it's easy, and it's the best way to help us bring you the best non-biased and cross-brand reviews in bowling. So while you're down there too, be sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the next review. Don't call it a comeback, but the Collision line gets another shiny pink iteration with the all-new Violent Collision. Just like its predecessor, the Violent Collision features the low RG, high differential, and very asymmetrical collision core, but receives that predictable HK22 cover update, this time featuring that HK22 Havoc Pro cover finished to 1500 grit polished out of the box. For the layout, I went with a 4.5 by 5.5 by 3.5 2LS layout, which is actually pretty similar to what I put on both my Exotic Gem and my Envy Tour Pearl. That layout on both of those pieces really allowed them to do what they were engineered to do, and knowing the successful history of the Collision line, I wanted to actually keep my layout out of the way and let the ball do most of the work for me. And on the lanes, I'd say that DV8 lived up to the idea of this thing being violent. Being slightly more cover dominant than the One Encore, but still having a lot of mid lane torque, this one from DV8 is not one you're going to have to worry if it's going to hook enough. I wasn't anywhere near comfortable with it until I was into 4th Arrow, but that's when it showed what it can really do. And the best part about throwing the Violent Collision was that even though it is a very strong ball, the shape is surprisingly easy to manipulate with changes in hand position. If I rolled it, the total number of boards covered would actually decrease, but the change in direction down lane was very sharp. If I got around it, the shape off the spot was considerably smoother. And that versatility in a piece this strong is in fact a rarity and a welcome sight from DV8. On the list of downsides, there's not many, but the volume of oil necessary to get this thing to do the right thing is pretty high. I know our house shot here at Weston Lanes hooks quite a bit, but it's been rare for me to enjoy much of any of the HK22 pieces from outside 3rd Arrow because of how ridiculously strong they are out of the box. It's not a terrible problem to have, but it does limit when I think these balls are in play, as I personally don't like this much power on fresh. But if I were to bring the Violent Collision with, say, a DV8 Captivate and a Chill, that would be about as well-rounded a bag as you can get from the brands of Brunswick. The Chill is strong, but doesn't use HK22, so it's more controllable. The Captivate has a much weaker core than the Collision, but the HK22 Pearl cover gets it to pop off the spot when the lanes are hooking. You'd probably have to be crafty with it, but that set of 3 bowling balls would give you a chance on just about any pattern. Looking at our Crossbrand comparisons, I first took a look at the Rotogrip clone, and it is stunning how much smoother this one is from front to back. I thought there might be a slight bit of overlap seeing as how it is a polished solid, but I was wrong. Although they'd be used in a similar part of the lane, how the clone gets to and through the pins is much different than the Violent Collision. Then I grabbed the new Theorem from Track, and here I see a lot of overlap. The Theorem is definitely a good bit cleaner through the middle part of the lane and produces more angle off the spot, and to be honest, looks pretty great. But I don't think I'd be carrying this one and the Violent Collision in the same bag unless their layouts were substantially different. But with that, here's my recommendations on the types of bowlers that I think would match up well with the Violent Collision. The first is two-handers. The combination of mid-lane torque with the strong Pearl cover will give those high-speed and high-rev players a look that they can trust when they have to get in and cover some boards, while also giving a bit of control in the event that it hooks early. The second recommendation is for bowlers with a low axis of rotation. I get Black Widow vibes with this one, and I think that this Violent Collision actually gives these types of bowlers the same pronounced shape that they get from the Widow line, but with actually more versatility to play in different parts of the lane with different hand positions. The all-new Violent Collision from DV8 certainly lives up to its name, and when your competition sees you put it on the rack, they'll know they're in for a Violent Collision of their own. And you can pick this up today and much more at bowlersparadise.com. Be sure to use the discount code YouTube at checkout for free shipping. Thank you to my friend Nick Pluff for the drilling of this piece, and to Dale's Weston Lanes for letting us film this video. If you haven't yet, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for more ball and product reviews. But as always, remember you guys, having the right ball in your hands, that's a bowler's paradise. Peace.